Hi, Doug McCon of RealityMe.net here. I got a box from a company called Variable Ink. I love Variable Ink. This is a really neat company down in Chattanooga, Tennessee. If I'm not mistaken, they got their start on Kickstarter, making this product called the Node. I love this thing. This white part is effectively your motion control sensor. This is your base unit, the white part, and it is a magnetometer, an accelerometer, and a gyroscope. So not only can it measure g-forces and tell what direction it's pointing and all this stuff, it's like a Wii controller. You know, you could actually use it to determine what's happening to it. So and it's programmable. You could interface with this. So you could write a program for your phone. For instance, one that I heard about was they took one of these, I think, and they took a stroke victim and strapped it to their chest, and they strapped it to their hand, and then they gave them an iPad, and the stroke victim was able to do in-home therapy. Instead of traveling to a therapeutic center, the stroke victim was able to use this equipment strapped to their chest and their hand and the iPad to know, oh, I'm leaning too far this way. I'm not, whatever their physical therapy required them to do, it interacted with them. So the devices just talked to the computer, which talked to the patient, which gave them the feedback they needed without having to get in a car and travel to a therapeutic center. Neat. Now, all kinds of possibilities. If you look at this end, and I'll be honest, I'm not even sure if I'm charged, but if I turn it on, oh, I am charged. If I turn it on, this end is a flashlight. So I can turn on one LED, two LEDs, four LEDs, or 8 LEDs, or I can make it flash. I've used this before when trying to find the family. We were at the Tennessee Valley Fair, and they were in the parking lot. I was already up at somewhere. And they had me on the phone. They said, "We can't find you. Where are you?" And I was standing on this little hill, and I held that up with the flashing light. And I said, "See the flashing light?" They said, "We see a flashing light." I said, "That's me." And they came to me. The neat thing about this is it connects via Bluetooth to your phone. So you have an application, and you can actually control how many LEDs are lit up. You can make them spiral. You can program them to do different things. You can make it send Morse code. Say you're stranded in the woods and you happen to have your Node with you and a plane's flying over, you can make it flash Morse code and bring in the rescue team. This side, and since I'm filming with my phone, I'm not actually going to turn it on. This is an infrared thermometer. So if I wanted to know how cold or hot the air was blowing out of my vents in the ceiling, up to 15 feet away, I can point it at it, and I can get a chart on my phone that tells me what the temperature is. I love this because I take it camping with me, and I get to ask the scouts, how hot do you think that fire is? And we point it at the fire, and we see how hot the fire is. They can make their hot chocolate, and we point it at the hot chocolate or my coffee, and we see how hot that is. Neat. But if you look at it differently, say you're a home inspector, and you're climbing up in the attic, and you're trying to decide whether or not the HVAC system is working correctly. You've got a light to find yourself around, and you've got the infrared thermometer to check the ductwork to see if the HVAC system is leaking anywhere. All kinds of potential. There is, I used to have one, this is my second one. I lost my first one. Oh, so sad. My first one actually had a Clima on it, which was a climate sensor, and it detected ambient light, barometric pressure, temperature, and humidity. So it was a weather station. So when I went out with scouts, I had the weather station here, and I had the infrared thermometer there, and I could do all kinds of teaching with the kids. It was just phenomenal. Let's say you're shipping pharmaceuticals from overseas over here, and there's extreme rules about the shipping. The crate isn't allowed to tilt beyond a certain degree. The temperature variance, it can't go too cold or it can't go too hot. Take one of these things, throw it in the package. When the shipment arrives, pull out your smartphone, turn on your app, and you can read the data right off of this without even touching the package, without opening the packaging, and say, I'm sorry, you tilted that 48 degrees and it wasn't allowed to go beyond 45. We have to reject the shipment. Or The tilt was fine. You handled the package fine. We can see that it didn't receive a shock because it could actually tell you that the package was dropped or handled too roughly. But instead, you can look at it and go, everything else is fine. You handled it gently. You handled it correctly, but you let it go 10 degrees too hot. And I'm afraid that these pharmaceuticals are spoiled. Return the shipment. We're refusing it. All kinds of neat stuff with this thing called a node. Enough of that. That's not what's in the box. I got a box. I love getting boxes. And this one, there it is, node right there. This box is really cool because what's in it, they had another, okay, I didn't finish. They have sensors. If you go to Variable Inc, Variable, VARIABLEINC.com, you'll see that they sell gas sensors. They have a carbon dioxide sensor. They have like 6 different gas sensors that you could put on this. So if you're in the scientific community where normally you'd spend thousands of dollars on sensors, you get a small package here for a fraction of the price that you'd pay for the other stuff. Field work, fantastic stuff you can do those. They have one called Chroma, which if I wanted to see what color this wall was, I could hold this up to it and get the color value of the wall. Or as a web designer, I could get the right color. My client could bring me their official marketing colors, and I could get the hexadecimal colors or the Pantone colors for printing, and all from this little sensor, this thing called Chroma. But Chroma's not good enough for that level of work. There's a Chroma Pro, which is very expensive. But Node, recognizing that there's a consumer market here, has come out with a new device called the ColorMuse. And that's what's going to be in this box, if I can get it open. I see. So, in the box, here it is. Packaged very nicely. And check packaging, materials for product. Okay. There's a USB cable for charging. It'll be similar to this micro USB port, mini USB, and there it is. What a beautiful, beautiful package. It is a ColorMuse. And inside this box, you'll see that you're going to have a smartphone app that we're going to download, match the perfect paint color, get the color right. They've partnered with all these different paint companies. So if you want to go pick up paint from Home Depot or Lowe's, you're going to be able to use this device, this tiny little device, to match it perfectly. What a nice piece of packaging too. And they have them in these blue, green, and orange, and fuchsia colors. And that's it. That's a very, very sweet looking device. Look at that. So there's the ColorMuse right there. It's about the size of your thumb. Compared to the Node, you can see where it is right there. Has a USB port, mini USB right there, or micro USB. Wow, it's late at night and I'm losing my vocabulary. And a little button for on and off. Should have a cap on here. I'm going to have to probably read some instructions. Download the app. And I bet the app's going to tell me what to do. Oh. There it is. There's the cap. So you have a white under the cap that is used to calibrate it. So the app's going to calibrate it. We're going to twist it off. You'll see there's the sensor right under there. We'll hold it to whatever we're trying to get the color for. And it's going to give us all kinds of information on the app. That is the ColorMuse by Variable Inc. It's $49, I think is what it is. Fantastic little product that homeowners are going to use when you're redoing your house. You're trying to match paint colors. No longer worry about having to keep up with that database. I keep every time I buy from Home Depot or Lowe's, they store it in the computer. Next time I go back, I ask them to look it up. They say, we purged the computer. We reset things. No worries. It's right here. Say you're a web designer and you want to match your client's colors perfectly. It's right here. This product, all about perfect colors. And I like what they've done to the end. You take the cap off for calibration, and you don't want to put it down and get it dirty. You just put it on the other end. There it is, right there. Keeps your calibration cap handy. Recalibrate it right there. We're going to download the app and let everybody know what this functions like in a different video. ColorMuse by Variable Ink.